And I say, hey, is this so? And you say, where's the tennis? You say, he's not here. Yes.
Yes, Madam. All their keys are now here.
Yeah.
When we adjourned on Friday, Mr. Ramosepele was busy with cross-examination, and the right of further cross-examination was reserved until today morning.
Okay, thanks. Yes. You're still under oath, as you know?
Yes, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Ramosepele. Any questions further?
As the court pleases, my lord. My lord, before I proceed, Advocate Munisi,
like to address the court, my lord, as the court proceeds. Okay, fine. Yes, sir.
Is it please the court, my lord? And it emerged, my lord, in the testimony of Brigadier Kininda, that apparently there's a statement that was penned by Mr. Stein to the effect that there was a communication that was able to determine or to unearth that took place between accused number 3 and Mrs. Kelly Kumar. And apparently the information was to the effect that such statement was then discovered to the defense. I frantically went through the document that I had, my lord, I couldn't find it. Through the court, I'm going to request that the state respectfully refurnish us, or accused number 3, or furnish me on behalf of accused number 3 so that I'm able to take proper instructions with regard to that information. That is all that I was going to request. Thank you.
Thank you, Malak. We've taken note.
Yes.
We'll address it offline with Advocate Nisi.
But was there such a statement?
Yes, well, my lord, that is also what we trying to establish. It's difficult as Brigadier Kininda is under cross-examination. I've been communicating with the other members of the team to try and establish that, and they are also still in the process of establishing that, and they'll revert to us as soon as they've laid their hands on that information, or at least just to give us feedback on that information.
Are you satisfied with the explanation of deferring the matter until the state has established your query satisfactory and responded to it? Thank you, my lord. Sorry.
This is the court, madam. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, my lord. I mean, that's it. Morning, Brigadier.
Good morning, Mr. Ramosepele.
Now, Brigadier, when we adjourned on Friday, one of the things that I requested was for us to go back and look at the witnesses according to their contemporaneous statements that were made on the 27th of October 2014 to have a regard as to which witnesses referred to the firearm that a .38 special revolver and which one simply referred to it as a firearm or as a gun. Did you have an opportunity to do that exercise?
Yes, I did, my lord, and I'll get to it. But just quickly, my lord, on the issue of the statement by Colonel Stein that relates to the communication with accused 3. What I recall I said there was a briefing given to me by Colonel Stein where he says there is a link between Ms. Kelly Kumalo and the accused 3. And I can confirm that that statement is there because I had an opportunity to check. So as to how we get it to Mr. Mnisi, I will liaise, like as Advocate Baloyi is saying, when that proper channel is there. So I will assist in that regard when we can speak open about it. But I had to go and look myself, to check if it needs such.
When you say it is there, it is where?
It is in the docket.
In the docket?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So and I'll assist with in making sure that Mr. Mnisi gets it.
All right.
Ngiqala-ke kudaba lolu statement akhuluma ngaso-ke u-Advocate Mnisi ukuthi bengishilo ubufakazi bami ukuthi-ke mangitshelwa uyena uCaptain uColonel Stein ngathi-ke kwakhona ukuxhumana kwakhona phakathi komsolo wesithathu no-Miss Kelly Khumalo nokuthi sikhona istatement-ke sikwidokethi-ke ngizokhulumisana-ke naye umshushisi-ke sibone ukuthi u-Advocate Mnisi leso statement leso usithola kanjani ngoba ngibenalo ithuba lokuthi ngiyobheka ngathola ukuthi sikhona leso statement leso kwidokethi.
Okay, fine.
Yes. So, yes, my lord. Now, coming back to the question by Mr. Ramosepele, my lord. Yes, the only statements that I recall, and I'm subject to guidance by Mr. Longwe, and I was specific in terms of the paragraph that where this is contained, where he refers to the revolver or 38. That's a statement he made back in 2014, my lord. Mr. Madlala also. But I've also noted, my lord, in the interview that were conducted by Mrs. Warrant Officer Steenkamp, it is clear also there that when she was interacting with Ms. Kelly Khumalo, the issue of a revolver became apparent. In fact, if you look at her interview notes, they seem to suggest that everyone may be giving that impression. So that's basically how I can answer the question, my lord.
Mangaphendula-ke umbuzo ukuthi-ke ngile yini ngayobuka ngayobheka-ke ijudgment ukuthi bakho ofakazi abakhuluma-ke nge-revolver abakhuluma nge.38 Uma ke siqala kuyena ke ulongo thwala sina khona statement esakhe ke la akhuluma khona ke ngepoint 38 akhuluma nge-revolver statement leso sango 2014 kanye naye ke uTumelo Madlala uma sibuka futhi ke na uma ke uCaptain Steenkamp wena interview kanye naye ke Mr. Khumalo naye ke ekhuluma ngaso noma ke ngayo ke i-revolver.
Now, perhaps for completeness sake, let's go at Seria team with respect to Longwe Thwala. The statement that he deposed on the 27th of October 2014 will be A9 according to your docket. And in that A9, he describes, like you correctly say, that the firearm that he observed was a .38 special or a 3.8 special, because there's also another dot in between. So
That is correct, my lord.
Yebo ke statement ke izoba yona ke i-A9 la ashoyo ke khona ke ulongwe akhuluma ngaye i.38 special.
and then Tumelo Madlala deposed to A10 on the very same date as Longwe, on the 27th of October 2014, and then he described the firearm as well as a .38 special.
That is correct, my lord.
Ngazo i-27 days zika October 2014 naye ke uTumelo Madlala wenza statement naye ke ekhuluma ngaye i.38 special.
And then he also, Tumelo Madlala, later on deposed to A110, in which he said the following, that I said to the person that was taking the statement from me that the firearm I observed had a wheel in the middle. I did not specifically say it's a .38 special. That's what's contained in A110.
Correct, my lord.
Uyiqiniswa nokuthi waphinda kamuva ke uTumelo Madlala wenza esinye ke statement la ashoyo khona ukuthi umuntu owayibhala statement ngayo kwakuyisibhamu angaze ngisho ukuthi kwakuyi.38 special.
However, despite that attempt of Tumelo Madlala to distance himself from A10 by saying that I did not say this is .38 special, A10 speaks for itself. That's what it describes in A10. The supplementary comes much later.
That is correct, my lord, but it is a fact that Tumelo Madlala is not licensed, because I profiled him, my lord, to possess, he doesn't have a license to possess firearms. So I do know that when this issue was taken up with him, when I was involved, the assertion from him was that he's not good up with firearms and he will not be able to distinguish whether it's a revolver or is this type of firearm. All I can say in that regard, my lord, is that he is not qualified in terms of the papers. He does not have a license to possess a firearm, so he lacks, with greatest respect, experience, in my view, my lord.
Kodwa ke u-A10 ke ekuyisona statement awasenza qala ke ukushilo lokho kwakusho lapho la alungisa khona ke noma lesi sesibili kwakusho lokho kamuva ke yebo ke kodwa ke engakusho ukuthi uma ngabe mina ke sengiyingxenye manje yophenyo sengikhuluma naye ngikhulumisa ngalo daba ke washo ke kumina ukuthi yena ke ulwazi lwezibhamu akanazo, futhi ke nami ngasho ukuthi akasiyena uthwepheshe noma ungodi uma kuza ke kuyibhamu, futhi akanawo ke amaphepha amvumela ukuthi ke abe nolwazi kuyizona ibhamu.
Yes, ma'am.
But in A110, not to belabor this point, he should have gone further and say what you are saying, to say, I am not an expert in firearms, I am not licensed. Therefore, when I was saying .38 special or a revolver, I was meaning generically to a firearm. He did not say that.
Yes, my lord, but Mr. Madlala, I think he made about 3 or 4 statements. So one will have to check all the statements, with a microscopic view, to ensure that it did not cover it perhaps in the other statements. Because in the one that Mr. Ramosepele is referring to, yes, indeed, he didn't say that, but there are other statements that he made subsequent to this one, my lord.
As a court case, my lord, we're just trying to find the relevant portion of Mr. Madlala's evidence. But he did testify that, he doesn't have knowledge of firearms. And without prescribing to my learned friend, I think it's perhaps better to relate what is in the statement with the evidence, because the statement was made some time ago. The witnesses since come, testified, and clarified all these aspects. It will be of no consequence, my lord, to harp on the statement with respect that was made some time ago when the witnesses already testified. As a
Kodwa ke uTumelo Madlala yena ke julanga-ke noma-ke alinke-ke achazeke ngale ndlela wena-ke kuchaza ngayo yinto le angabe wayenza-ke kusona istatement asho-ke ukuthi cha anginawo-ke amaphepha futhi angisenake kwingoti kuyibhamu kodwa umuntu uzofanele abheke-ke zonke iy'tatimende azenza uTumelo ngoba kezanga-ke istatement esodwa yebo kuleso okhuluma ngaso wena-ke akakushongo lokho kodwa kufanele kubhekwe nezinye futhi iy'tatimende bese-ke umshushisi-ke yebo kuyiqinisoko ukuthi wakusho lokho noma-ke istatement sisho kanjalo kodwa-ke sikhuluma ngobufakazi ozile enkantolo wakuchaza-ke lokhu washo ngale ndlela-ke ubufakazi asho ngayo.
The portion, my lord, that we're referring to is the evidence given by Mr. bukaMadlala on the 10th of August 2023 at page 4 during cross-examination by Mr. Ngumalo at line 12. Mr. Ngumalo says, so the description of the firearm that you gave in that paragraph, it is stated that it was a .38 special. Is that the description that you gave to the police? Then Mr. Madlala answers, I do not know what a .38 special is. All I know is that the description that I gave was a description in as far as a firearm that had a wheel on it. That is the description I gave to the police. And as far as the .38 special or 3.8 special is concerned, I do not know firearm. I did not say that it was a .38 special.
Impendulo-ke leyo yakhe bukaMadlala uma wayebuzwa-ke imibuzo yena u-advocate uNumalo ngazo i-10 zika-August ngo-2023 ukuthi-ke akusho yena-ke emaphoyiseni akazange akhulume ngayo i.38 special kodwa-ke wathi nje uma sichaza isibhamu leso wakhuluma ngesibhamu esinesondo ibhamu futhi angizazi yilokho akusho.
My Lord, that's a crisp response. There's no contestation between me and the state on that. I even put it to the witness on Friday that in his defense, I stated to bukaMadlala said the description that he gave was a firearm with a wheel. I told this witness that on Friday. But I'm just comparing what's written in the statement, what he testified about. So there's no contestation between us. Now, like you've testified that certain witnesses, especially the ones that have come and testified that were in the house, typically Zandile Khumalo as well said, and I remember vividly, I was cross-examining her. She said, I'm not an expert in firearms, I won't be able to describe it. Similarly, Mthokozisi Twala could not describe the firearm. And the point that I'm coming to, Longwe Twala has yet to testify in this matter. And his description, you'll agree with me, that it's a .38 special and it still stands, according to his statements.
Yes, according to the statement, my lord, it still stands. However, he is also in the same boat with bukaMadlala, and so are the other people who were in the house. None of them possess a license for the firearm. So there are no expertise in terms of the firearm. I'm saying legally, in terms of the profiling. What is factually correct, my lord, and that I can rely on is that the experts, this is now the ballistic expert, at the crime scene, they found a projectile that relates to the 9mm. And that is why in my statements, when I refer to a revolver, I said purporting to be a revolver in relation to what was contained in the statement, not what was the factual finding, because I was laying the basis of what is contained in the docket. But yes, that still stands, as Mr. Ramosepele says, but there are no expertise there, with greatest respect to him as well, my lord.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ukuthi lokho okushiwo uyena-ke uLongwe ngokwendlela-ke obhalwe ngayo kwistatimende kusamile-ke ukuthi-ke washo ukuthi i.38 special kodwa-ke ngokufanayo-ke nabanye aboTumelo kanye nabanye ofakazi-ke naye uLongwe Twala akanawo-ke amaphepha amvumelayo ukuthi-ke ngokusemthethweni abe nesibhamu nokuthi futhi angaba ungoti noma abe nolwazi-ke kodwa-ke kuloko okwatholwa-ke labo abangongoti abasebenzi noma abayileke kwindawo yesigameko bona-ke bathola-ke inhlamvu ekuyinhlamvu ephuma kwisibhamu ekuyi-9mm kodwa yebo kona lokho kuyiqinisoko ukuthi kusho kanjalo uLongwe yena.
Okay. Then A12, we are still on the witnesses that were in the house. A12 is a statement of Letness Khumalo or Makhumalo. She also did not give a specific description of the firearm.
Correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso u-A12 kuyistatimende sakhe-ke uMakhumalo noma uLetness Khumalo naye-ke isibhamu akasichazanga lapho.
And A13 is the statement of Ms. Zandile Khumalo. She too did not give a specific description of the firearm.
Yes, she didn't give it. Both A12 and A13, my lord, did not give a description of a specific firearm, in other words, in terms of the type or the make. But they do say the first intruder was carrying a firearm. That's the essence of it.
Yebo kuyiqiniso-ke zombili-ke le statement u-812 esakheke uMakhumalo no-813 sakheke uZandile Mkhumalo akunasibhamu esithize abasishoyo noma abachazayo-ke kodwa-ke bayasho ukuthi omunye walaba-ke abangena wayephethe isibhamu.
And finally, 826 is the statement of Muthokozi Sitwala, and also he too did not describe the firearm in specific terms.
Yes, indeed. Except to say the intruder had a firearm, but not describing it. So the presence of the firearm becomes prevalent, my lord, in these statements.
Kuyiqiniso-ke nakena-ke uMthokozi Sitwala akasho ukuthi isibhamu esinjani kodwa uyasho nje ukuthi omunye-ke wayephethe isibhamu. Manje sekuyavela-ke noma kuyagqama-ke lokhu noma la kule statement-ke ukuthi kukhona sasikhona isibhamu.
Now, the second aspect that I parked was the issue that I said I don't want to put a wrong proposition to you regarding where the so-called runaway phone lost its signal. Remember that issue?
I do remember, my lord.
Now, you said in your 8225, the statement that we were busy with on Friday, that the signal was lost at the Fosloras hostel. And my follow-up question was, what do you mean by the Fosloras hostel? Because my assumption is that there are several hostels in Fosloras.
That's correct, my lord, but I seem to recall